Welcome back to the Rogue Wave podcast, talking comics, movies, TV, and pop culture. Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook.com/Rogue Wave Podcast. Go to RogueWavePodcast.com to subscribe. Check us out on YouTube.com/Rogue Matter because we are part of the Rogue Matter network. And you can check out our newest podcast to join the Rogue Matter podcast network, which is Button Smash. They stream live every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern on Twitch.tv/WeAreRogueMatter. I'm excited. Next week is going to be all Hassan because we got a couple things. We were going to review The Boys episode 4 today, but there's too much stuff going on, so we'll save it for next week.
You were going to review it.
Yes. Well, we'll do 4 and 5 together. I will say this in your defense, and this kind of segues very nicely into The Mandalorian. I'm actually more bothered by the weekly approach to The Boys than I've ever been to any streaming show. I think it works for The Mandalorian for me personally because I feel like each episode was its own standalone movie, whereas The Boys really is this, serialized, episodic. You gotta catch the next episode, and you kind of want to watch it, immediately. And then you get a little angry. You're like, streaming. I'm used to it, and especially because they dropped the first 3 episodes. I wonder if the best solution is, dropping bulks at a time. I don't love dropping all 8 episodes at once, because it feels like such a daunting task. And if it sucks early on, I'm not going to want to watch the whole thing. But if you give me dose of 3 or dose of 2, 2, 2, I think that would actually be better. So now, and apparently it wasn't
I don't see how it'd be any different, because if you decide it sucks, you're gonna stop watching all 8 episodes,
but you could parse it if you know
whether it's week after week or whether it's all in the same day. And then, I just like the binging because you can pace yourself. Everybody says, well, it's just not the same, but the problem is that's because they don't know how to control themselves. It's like, it's all here. I just got to binge it all. And you can actually control how you watch each and every episode. You don't have to watch it all. You don't have to put 8 hours aside so you can just stream through the whole thing.
Ironically, it wasn't Amazon's decision either. I read about it. It was the producers. The producers were like, no, we want to try this. The actual guys who make the show, The Boys.
I'm sure.
But one thing that's different between them and The Mandalorian, and we'll get into The Mandalorian trailer in just a sec because that's obviously what we're doing here. The reason I think Mandalorian really works, I watched The Mandalorian weekly and loved it as a weekly show because everything felt like a standalone, first of all, like I mentioned before. But also, Star Wars is something that you're kind of used to seeing. Like you go to the movies to see Star Wars, you kind of are used to seeing a beginning, middle, and end. Even though there was obviously a recurring theme with the child, baby, / Baby Yoda. Where you kind of wanted to find out what his secret was and learn more about Mandalorian. So it still was episodic TV, but it felt, to me, more cinematic. It felt like a movie. It didn't feel like a TV show. So kind of gearing up for, kind of the way old school television used to be, which was, a standalone episode each week, a monster of the week, quote unquote, or a villain of the week, quote unquote. It lent itself to this. The reason the Amazon producers wanted to get in on this is obviously it kept them in the conversation, but I don't see the conversation about The Boys being to the same level, even though it is just as successful a streaming hit according to the numbers, or it's near as successful, I should say, according to the numbers. The conversation from week to week with The Boys just isn't the same, and I wonder. I don't fault them for wanting to be part of the conversation, but I wonder if they kind of ended up screwing themselves over in the long term with that now. So it should be interesting. But all right.
I have theories on that, but we'll go into it some other
next week. The All Hassan episode. All Boys.
We're gonna go into it because
for an hour.
Whatever.
Well, wait. I'll do 4, 5, and 6. So unless something dramatic happens, I will push The Boys review, and we'll review 4, 5, and 6 in 2 weeks, just so I can have an All Hassan episode next week. All Hassan. I'm going to give you all the reads. All the ads to read, like all the first chair next week. Very excited. All right. Initial reaction, Mandalorian season 2 trailer.
It looks good.
If I was to give you the first word that comes to mind, like the Rorschach test, right? Like, what do you see? What? No, it's two different tests. Mandalorian season 2 trailer.
It looks good. It looks like more. I don't know what you want. What do you want? But yeah,
Goosebumps.
what are you looking for?
That's the word. That's the word. Just one word. That was the word I got.
No, I am a middle-aged man. I don't get goosebumps at television.
Well, you do. You're a middle-aged man. You get goosebumps, but not because of the trailer.
No, not recently. No.
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 Body's not a changing. Middle-aged. Man. No.
Jesus Christ.
I enjoyed it because I feel like it's going to do. So, all right, I'm going to bring sports in the conversation because sports is a great analogy for everything in life. In football, when you draft a rookie quarterback, you don't expect the rookie quarterback to take you to the Super Bowl. What you want from a rookie quarterback is you want to see that they can play the game, and you want to see that there is this glimmer that the potential is there to one day take you to the next level. And usually the jump between year 1 and year 2, if that quarterback is indeed going to be your franchise quarterback and put you in contention, there's a major jump. Watching the Mandalorian trailer, I felt like there was a major jump in excitement in terms of really connecting to the outer Star Wars level, visiting the different worlds, and just in general, I feel like they've got their feet under them now, and they're gonna up it to the next level. I feel like season 1 was a great introduction. It was a great appeasement to the fans as well, not in fan service, but just the fact that the sequels were just so all over the place that it was just very tightly done. It had a plan. It stuck with the plan. It gave us a solid foundation with which to now take that next level. And I felt like that in the trailer. I felt like, okay, now we're gonna get into, the bigger picture.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, hopefully, yes. I'm just waiting to see where it all is heading. You know, where it's going. It's exciting to see. I mean, the visuals look fantastic. Mm-hmm. I like the character of the Mandalorian. I'm not as enamored with the Pedro Pascal portrayal.
Yeah,
I like Pedro Pascal a lot. I'm not sure I'm feeling his Mandalorian all that much personally, but that's like a personal pet peeve.
In terms of what? I'm just curious if you could expand on that, because I'm curious what you mean by
it's you know what, it's a weird thing. It's a little too cliched and not cliched enough. It's like one of those weird hybrids of, he's not Clint Eastwood enough. But then again, he's a little too Clint Eastwood, for a space show. So it's a very weird thing. I don't mention it often. I don't really hold it against the show because it's very quirky for me personally. But it's fine, and that's we all signed on for that. That's what we signed on for. That's fine. It's not a deal breaker. I know that this season is going to it's going to be a lot more cohesive than season 1.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot more through line narrative, a lot less episodic than the first season. It's not going to be so much Monster of the Week anymore. It's going to be like a string of episodes,
a little more of a driving story, and that'll be interesting to see with the weekly release schedule now, how that's going to play out. Is it going to help or hurt it? Because again, we talking about the boys, and I think the weekly release schedule now kind of hurts the boys.
And then, the problem with the Mandalorian is it's very short. It's a half hour to wait a week for a half hour in this crazy world that we are in.
45 minutes sometimes. I mean, it doesn't always. Yeah, but I agree. It's something but some of the episodes were a little more than half an hour. Just saying.
If they were 45 minutes, they'd be hour-long episodes, especially without commercials. So most of them are 25 to 30 minutes. If they last longer than the standard 25 minutes, then they go to about 30, 35 minutes. They never go to 45 minutes.
No? Okay. No. Yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe it just felt like it. Maybe time just went by so fast when watching it. I like what you said.
Anyway,
with the Clint Eastwood comparison, actually, too, because. And in the trailer, you have that sequence, obviously, where Baby Yoda kind of closes himself into the pod. the lights go dark, and then Mandalorian kind of took everyone out, right? That would be a total Clint Eastwood moment. But you're right. It's kind of like it's a lukewarm Clint Eastwood. It's like, all right, I guess I kind of believe that he's a badass, but he's not really a badass, right? He's just kind of because he loves Baby Yoda. So how could it's almost funny. Baby Yoda almost his compassion for Baby Yoda takes away from that Clint Eastwood. Like
it's not even that he has to be a badass. It doesn't even have to be like that. What it needs to do, because it's done well. It's good so far, but for season 2 to really work, what it needs to do is it really needs to get us into all these characters, like Cara Dune, which there's already controversy with Gia Carrera now, and
please elaborate. What is the controversy?
No, I don't want to go into it, but I mean, yeah, everybody can look into it. It's a Twitter thing.
Oh, so all right. I mean, that's okay. No, I'm not doing that to you. I was poo-pooing, Twitter.
You don't even know what it is. I wouldn't do that yet. And Carl Weathers really need to get into the characters now, and the characters need to take the forefront of the story. Now that we're over the novelty of the fact that the Mandalorian is a thing, that the fact that there's a weekly cinematic Star Wars TV show, live action TV show for the first time in our history. Now that we're past the novelty of that, now they really need to get into the characters just to make it work. Because just as quick as this launched, this could go very badly, Right. So they need to start to indicate to us where it's all going. Now, I was restless about where is this all going from season 1, but I understand it was just getting its feet, So now that we're in season 2 and they're going to start introducing new characters and start showing us surprising things or whatever, now we need to really hunker down and get into who these people are. And I think that'll carry us quite nicely into season 3 and then subsequent seasons after that.
I just read the controversy. It's very controversial.
As I said.
Ultimately, predictions sure to go wrong. Trailer truth or trailer trash? Is this going to be our expectations?
I just answered that question. You weren't listening because you were.
I was reading about the controversy.
Yep. You'll have to watch the show to know where I am.
To go to youtube.com/Rogue Matter to do it. I'll go trailer truth. I think it's great. I think Twitter just ruins. I think social media just ruins everything, doesn't it? After a while.
No, people using social media ruins everything.
Yes and no.
Social media is fine to get information, to read articles. Everything you wanted to know is at the touch of a button. That's awesome. But people don't know how to use social media.
Right. I agree with that.
And people don't know how to keep their freaking opinions to themselves, whether for good or ill. Not even judging. If you just don't weigh in, and I'm just saying, I am not defending anyone. If you just don't weigh in on things that have nothing to do with you, you're probably going to be all right.
You can't.
Now, if you get pushed to having an opinion on something, then you can make it a situation where, like, well, I don't know why you're pushing me to have an opinion on this. You could reverse the tables.
William Shatner does that very, very well. You. Actually, he does a good job.
I don't agree with you, but in certain circumstances like that, I think what you need to do, for social media in circumstances like that is just to keep it locked into yourself. Right. Like, look, I don't know why I am being pressured to have an opinion or to be vocal about an opinion about something. My record stands for itself, and it is what it is. And that is then controversially, there's nowhere anybody can go with that, because now they're trying to
they can still press you.
No, because once you've resisted the pressure and you said, and you've pointed out the fact that I am being pressured into having, and I'm being pressured, I am being pushed until I inevitably do or say something that someone could latch onto and say and call it a negative. Then you're bringing to light the issue with social media in and of itself, and you make the argument about social media. If you go ahead and blame another group for it, then you're just as bad as a circumstance that is trying to catch you in a conspiracy in the first place. You can't perpetuate it. while surviving it, you can't perpetuate it. That's what I'm talking about.
Can you put in your bio, like, I do not post opinions on this page?
No, you just, you know what? You just got to have the conviction and stand with yourself. Like, look, my record stands for itself. I don't have an opinion on anything. I don't vocalize my opinions on anything.
Guarantee that wouldn't fly with us. Good thing we're not popular enough to worry about that.
I don't really post my opinion about too much, except for you. The fact you're an idiot. Other than that,
this is very true. I can't wait to be second chair next week. This is gonna be a monumental week.
I can't wait to see who your first chair is gonna be. That's gonna be interesting.
All right, chime in. Mandalorian season 2 trailer. How psyched are you? Is it going to be prediction sure to go wrong? Is it going to be everything you think it's going to be based off this trailer? Did this trailer excite you? Did it not? Chime in on the Facebook feed. We will get back to you regardless of whether you're on the live stream or you are checking in with us later on in the week. When we come back, we'll do the Dune trailer next, and then we'll review Tenet. This is like it's just jam-packed. Jam freaking packed when we get back.